Welcome back to KMI Community Connect. Hello viewers. Today we are going to be talking about what we are going to eat, and what we are eating in that is the topic of carbohydrates and fats. Like I mentioned before, I have talked about the carbon energy in my previous topic, where the energy comes from carbon, and I want to establish certain basic, essential, fundamental principles and terminologies before we understand, irrespective of your background of either having a biology background, regardless, or having any science background. I want to bring in this concept of energy that I have been frequently using, carbon energy, which a lot of people loosely term as calories. I try to refrain from using this quite often, even though it makes sense, for the simple reason that this term has lost its meaning in translation many times, even though it has a lot of meaning due to misinterpretation. But for all practical purposes, you can use this word calories whenever I use energy. So let's talk about what we eat today, and we are going to cover how we eat, when we eat, why we eat, and all that later in as more topics follow in metabolism down the line. So when we talk about what we eat, I already mentioned in my last topic about carbohydrates, the energy that comes from carbon, and when it is combined with hydrogen and oxygen. So the carbohydrates, imagine sugar dissolving in water, hydrates, and it mixes with water and it dissolves. Hydrocarbons, like I said before, the fats which do not dissolve in water. Imagine putting a drop of oil or fat or butter into water, it floats, it does not. So we are only going to be covering carbohydrates today. So let's talk about what is a carbohydrate. You can divide this into a non-fiber and a fiber carbohydrate. That means we all know what is fiber, but to make it very simple, I could just say that when you understand what is a fiber, it can be either a soluble or insoluble fiber. I'm going to talk about that later. But a fiber does not get absorbed into our bloodstream, and so it goes straight out into the stool. So what is the significance of this fiber? We are going to be covering later, but let's come back to the non-fiber carbohydrates. The non-fiber carbohydrates are mostly simple sugars. So for example, you have glucose, which you all know, and then you also have fructose, which you have already known, and galactose. These are the sugars that are in its simplest form. So what I mean by simplest form is when this is the way it stays in the blood, and everything converts into glucose or sometimes fructose when we eat certain kinds of carbohydrates. But this is the elemental form where the energy is conveyed into the tissues, it transported into the tissues, or it stays into the in the bloodstream. So here I have depicted some 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens and oxygens. You really don't have to worry about this. This is just for an illustration for you to understand. All this is showing is these are rearrangement of the same hydrogen and oxygen molecules in different ways. If you pay close attention to it, you don't have to worry about it. But this whole reason why I put this is when these hydrogens and oxygens are placed in different forms, the entire molecule changes. So it can either become a glucose or a fructose or a galactose in its simplest form. Now what are these simple sugars? This is just energy that is absorbed. So going back to the carbohydrates and fats, it's the way the carbohydrates are absorbed, transported and stored, and the way the fats are absorbed, transported and stored are in completely different ways, and the way it shows its metabolic effects on our system are completely different. So now I'm going to be talking about the glucose, fructose and galactose, which are the simplest form of sugars. What are the sources and where we get it and all. So I'm going to be showing you about the sources of carbohydrates that we all know. Vegetables are one of the common sources of carbohydrates, fruits and grains. So we can divide these vegetables, fruits and grains and categorize them into something called complex carbohydrates. So, and then we can also divide these sources of carbohydrates into simple or purified or refined. That means we have processed it, and I have given some examples here like concentrated sweets, refined sugar, syrup, cornstarch, candy, honey, jellies, molasses, soft drinks, purified fruit juices without fiber, and all desserts. I have also put in another source of carbohydrate, which is milk, which is actually a simple sugar because it has two sugars, that's lactose. It has a glucose and a galactose. For instance, I can show you there are two. This is a glucose molecule, for instance, one color, and there's a galactose molecule, which are simple sugars that makes milk sugar, which is lactose. Similarly, the fruit sugar, I can say the regular sugar that you talk about is what is the glucose and fructose together. They are two different kinds. So this is what we can show in different colors like this, two different glucose molecules. One is fructose and one is glucose. And similarly, we can have two glucose molecules, which I can show in the same color, that becomes like what is called as maltose. So these, you don't have to worry about it. You just have to imagine that any sugar has to be broken down into its simplest form, which is one glucose, and only then it can be absorbed into as a single molecule and stay in the blood, which is the basic element in our system that is represented as glucose. So we loosely call this as glucose. We interconvertibly change the terminology as sugars. We say blood sugar, but some sugars are very sweet like fructose and all, dextrose. These are the sweet sugars that we see, which we have refined because these are devoid of fiber. And there are other sugars which are very complex with fiber, which are not sweet, that are in vegetables, and also some of the fruits are not very sweet because of the fiber, even though they are sweet sugars. And then the grains also have sugars, but they are not the sweet sugars. So what is a complex sugar and what is a simple sugar? So usually complex sugars are bigger molecules, like you have more sugars, like almost going from 10 to almost 100 that are packed in long packages, and the body needs to digest it and break it when we eat to make it into a single molecule, to break it up into single glucose molecules. So it takes a long time when the molecules are very big, like 100 groups of 100 pieces of glucose put together. So the sugar very slowly rises in our system. It doesn't go up too fast because it takes long time to digest those kind of sugars like vegetables, grains, and even some fruits which have a lot of fiber. So the main component of that, when you look at it, like the starch and the fiber are the ones that make it like slowly digestible, and they don't rise the sugar levels. Like let's say your sugar is between 70 and 100, which is normal, which represents 1 teaspoon of sugar what we see. Your sugar doesn't jump immediately, it goes up very slowly like that and then comes down. Whereas if you have any of these kinds of purified sugars without fiber, your sugar jumps up like that and comes down. So the advantage of having fiber, which is in complex carbohydrates as opposed to simple sugars, is you have fiber which makes the blood glucose rise very, very, very gradual and slow, and it also makes your appetite come down because you feel full and you don't have this crashing effect of up and down with refining or processing or ultra processing of what we see in these processed or processing of the food that I actually spoke about in my previous talk. So the processing will cause this increased effect of this sudden crash as well as the taxing on the system of the body and then it also crashes you and gets you hungry, and also you feel weak and tired with the sugar going down even below. Whereas the complex carbohydrates, which have a lot of fiber, have a slow rise and your appetite doesn't come back so easily, and you have more satiety and you feel less hungry and you feel more full for a longer time. So these are more slowly digestible. I have put the milk as a separate part because milk is a two sugar molecule, which is glucose and galactose. In this, instead of the fiber, the protein and the fat are the ones that actually cause that less spike in the sugars, because you have glucose and galactose, which is the carbohydrate, but then you have protein and the fat that causes the same effect, like it doesn't increase the sugars abruptly because of fat and protein. So the take home point is, when we take away fat from the milk, it can cause an increased spike just with sugars, much more, almost like an effect that we see in some of these refined carbohydrates, that what we see here. A similar example here is white flour that we do. We take all the grains and then we process it, and we take away the germ and the bran, and the fiber is removed. There is no nutritive value, and most of our breads and lot of other white flour substances, when we refine the grains, can cause almost a similar effect, like abrupt increase from where you start to that, and cause that crashing effect. So it is all about processing of these simple carbohydrates, and also making the complex carbohydrates more refined and causing that kind of an effect in the bloodstream. So that is the practical significance that I wanted to show you today, because we always maintain only 1 teaspoon of sugar in the blood in 5 liters. So the body is really struggling to keep that fine balance. If you imagine, if this is where your normal sugar is, if this is where your normal sugar has to fluctuate, and when we eat, if you are causing almost going up to 140, that means your sugar has almost doubled to 2 teaspoons, which is a big effect on the system to take it out and put it in the cells and take it away from the blood. So your body is struggling to that extent when you cause these acute rises, and to decrease those acute rises, you need fat, protein, fiber on those foods to nicely balance it and not cause acute elevations of sugars. So after having talked about this, my idea about giving you all this information is, at KMI Community Connect here, we want you to have the tools and methods and the science of metabolism, and also all the various effects and the metabolic health at zero cost to you. So this is why we try to bring this and make it more simpler and give a practical application. So in my next talk, I am going to be talking about the carbohydrates and how the carbohydrates, once they get absorbed, how they are stored. I will see you very soon. Thank you.